Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. We're successfully live now. We got our YouTube live streaming working. So thank you all for your wait. And Mr. Daly, we'll hand it back over to you to get going here.
Well, thank you very much, Rachel, for your assistance. And I would just like to say at the outset, words of deep appreciation to Rachel Stevenson of Get Quorum, who has assisted us preparing for this meeting and will be guiding us throughout our next time while together. And as well, I want to thank administrative assistants Lorena Madalena and Amelia Rostelli, who have worked very, very hard over the last number of weeks. I would just at the outset, just for the public record, like to do a roll call, if I could, of the trustees, and I know all trustees are present, but just particularly since the meeting is being live streamed and recorded, that the public recognize their voices. And in introducing them, I want to thank them for their dedicated service. I can tell you, having the honor of serving with them, each and every one of them has attended every single meeting throughout this pandemic and before, but particularly during the pandemic, and each one of them are strong advocates for publicly funded Catholic education. So I'll quickly do a brief roll call and invite them to indicate their presence, please. Vice Chair John Valvasori.
Okay. Would you like me to unmute John Valvasori?
Yes, please. Yes, please, as I roll call.
Okay. So Mr. Valvasori, we've prompted you to unmute.
Okay, I'm going to keep going, Rachel. Trustee Mary Nardini.
Okay, Mary Nardini.
Present.
Oh, good. Thank you, Mary. And I see John hasn't unmuted yet, but we'll keep going. Trustee Lou Agro.
Okay, Mr. Agro, you've been unmuted. So Mr. Agro will just prompt you again to unmute.
I'm present.
Great. Thank you, Lou. Trustee Joe Biardo.
Okay.
Present.
Great. Thank you, Joe. Trustee Phil Hermersky.
I'm present, Mr. Chair.
Great. Thank you, Phil. Trustee Aldo Dentino.
I'm present, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Aldo. And Trustee Mark Valvasori.
I'm present.
Great, thank you, Mark. And I think our two student trustees have expressed their regrets, but I do want to introduce Ms. Katrina Matthew and Isabel Michi from Bishop Tonus and Cardinal Newman, and thank them for their good service as well. And I know that Trustee Valvasori is present, so we'll wait till he unmutes. So I do again want to welcome, of course, the trustees, members of the administration, and those in the public that are viewing this important meeting. And in a special way, I want to welcome each of the candidates that have submitted their names. They will be introduced a little later, but to the 8 individuals, I want to recognize you and thank you for putting your name forward for the role of a Catholic school trustee, one that is obviously both a political office, but as well a ministry in terms of commitment and service to Catholic education. As we do all of our meetings and events, we'll begin with a prayer. And if I could invite Trustee Phil Hermersky to lead us in prayer, please.
Thank you, Pat. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for your blessings, for the successful outcomes for our school events, and for all our staff members, both the teaching and support members. We ask that you bless them abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us the insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Help us to make decisions that are for the good of all and guard us from blind self-interest. Dear Lord, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hemersky. And at this time, again, I would like to invite Rachel to please lead us through a presentation in preparation for our meeting.
Yes, okay, I will take back the screen share here. So, hello everyone, my name is Rachel Stevenson and I'm with a company called Get Quorum. We specialize in corporate governance and voting software. So I will be just assisting Mr. Daly today as we work through our virtual special meeting of the board. And before we get started, I'd just like to take our attendees today through a brief orientation just to make sure that everyone knows how they'll be able to participate, and most certainly our voting trustees this afternoon so that they are reminded of how they'll be able to participate. So just a reminder that you must be joined via the Zoom app in order to fully participate in this afternoon's meeting. It does seem that everyone has joined us via the app. So if you haven't joined via the app, if you're just using a web browser, we would just recommend that you take a moment now to rejoin the meeting via the application. Okay, the first way that you'll be able to participate in the meeting this afternoon is through the virtual hand raise. On the bottom of your screen, it might also be on the top of your screen or on the side of your screen. And you may have to tap your screen to make the button appear, but you should see in your control panel a raise hand button, just as the picture is showing on the screen. So I'd like to invite our attendees today to take a moment to find their hand raise button and to press it once. Okay, so we've got some hand raises coming in, as you can see. If you press it once, your hand will be raised. If you press it a second time, your hand will be lowered. And for our voting trustees today, our 8 voting trustees, we would like to remind you that this is how you will be able to move and second motions. So if you'd like to move or second a motion, and again, this is just for our voting trustees today, you can just press the hand raise button and leave it raised, and we'll be able to see that. And then again, when we move motions, it'll be the same process. You can press the raise hand button and keep your hand raised, and we will be able to see your vote for the motion. So thank you everyone for participating. I'm now going to lower all hands. The next way that you'll be able to participate is through the Q&A button. If you have any questions related to tech support, you will be able to send Get Quorum a message via the Q&A box and we'll be able to assist. There will be a designated period later on in the meeting for candidate speeches, at which point candidates will be given access to microphone and video in order to present. Candidates must have, at a minimum, working mic or phone audio. And if you are a candidate and you have any concerns about your speaking or audio hardware, please send me a message via the Q&A and I'll be able to assist. Okay, and this is for just for our voting trustees today. So you will have received at approximately 12:30 this afternoon, you will have received an email, and the sender will be Amelia Rastelli, and the subject line would have been meeting and voting portal link. That email is the email you would need to use in order to get on your voting portal. Some of you may have also used that in order to join the Zoom meeting now. As you'll see in the picture on the screen, there's a button in that email, go to my meeting portal. When you click that, your browser will open and you'll be brought to your meeting portal page. When you arrive at that page, you'll see that it's currently indicating that it will refresh automatically, reload when a new vote is available. So we would invite our 8 attendees who are voting this afternoon to go find that email right now and to click on the Go to My Meeting Portal button in order to get your voting portal prepared for the voting that will happen later this meeting. If there are any trustees of our 8 trustees this afternoon who are not seeing that email, again, please send us a message via the Q&A and we'll be able to assist. Okay, that's all for me for now, Mr. Daly. We'll hand it back over to you.
Great, thank you very much, Rachel. And I would just again echo Rachel's words in terms of raising hands or moving motions. I saw a couple non-trustees' hands, so only trustees are permitted to actually vote, so and to move motions and to speak other than when the candidates are invited to. So just as a reminder, I would again confirm item 2. All members of the board, trustees are present. Item 3 in our agenda is approval of the order of business. Could I invite a mover and seconder of the order of business as outlined?
Just give me a moment here. Okay, so we have our mover from trustee Mary Nardini and our seconder from trustee Mark Valvasori.
Thank you. So we will note that Mrs. Nardini has moved and trustee Mark Valvasori has seconded. Are there any questions, comments on the motion?
Okay, so if you have a question or comment, we would ask you to raise your hand. No hand raises, Mr.
Okay,
Daly.
thank you, Rachel. So I would ask all in favor of the motion?
Okay, and so as you can see, we had 7 trustees raise their hand in favor.
Okay, so I will ask anyone opposed to the motion?
We have no hand raises in opposition.
Great, thank you. So the motion is carried. Item 4, we as trustees are required to indicate at each and every meeting if we have a declarations of interest or a conflict of interest with regard to any matter on the agenda. So if I could ask if any trustee does have a conflict on this matter, and Rachel, I think the best would be to invite them, if they do, to please raise their hand.
Okay. So as you can see, we're not seeing any hand raises yet, but as Mr. Daly has said, please raise your hand if you'd like to indicate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on then to item 5 in our agenda, the outline of the procedures. And if I could just very briefly take us through the procedures for the information of the candidates and as well for anyone who is viewing online. First, I will introduce on behalf of the Board of Trustees each of the candidates, and they will be introduced alphabetically. The procedures are as follows. Each candidate will be given up to a maximum of 4 minutes to make a statement. And we as trustees have received the statements and outline of the statements ahead of time, but we will hold you to the 4 minutes. So please be sure that you don't go beyond. Questions by trustees will be permitted only for the purpose of clarification. We don't want in any way to ask questions that, permit some candidates to speak on other matters, or so it's only if we don't understand something. The voting will be conducted by electronic confidential balloting. Get Quorum will receive and confirm the results of confidential voting and advise me of the results only, not how individual trustees voted, but only the totals to be declared or appointed to the position of trustees for wards 3 or 4. The winning candidate must receive a majority, a simple majority, obviously 50 plus 1 of the ballots cast by trustees in attendance. And as there are 8 trustees in attendance, then the winning candidate would require 5 votes, a minimum of 5 votes. If a trustee is unable or does not vote, the total number of ballots used to determine a simple majority will be reduced by 1. If no candidate receives a majority of votes cast, then the candidate or candidates in last place will be dropped from the ballot, and another vote will be conducted with the remaining candidates. If there is a tie for last place, other than for those receiving 0 votes, if that happens, the vote will be conducted once more amongst those who are tied for last place. If the tie remains after the second ballot, a draw will be conducted amongst the candidates who are tied, and the candidate who loses the draw will be dropped from the ballot. And just to be clear on how that will be done, the names of each candidate where there is a tie will be written on a piece of paper and folded so that the names are not visible and the papers indistinguishable. The papers will be deposited into a ballot box, and our Associate Director of Corporate Services, Mrs. Paula Pace-Kebetchkin, will randomly select one of the papers. The name on the paper that is selected will remain on the ballot. If there is a tie vote on the final ballot, then the same process will be used. We will vote a second time. If the tie remains, Mrs. Pace-Kebetchkin will draw from the ballot box. The results of the vote will be announced in public during this meeting and published in our meetings. Beyond that, there will be no further disclosure, and the individual voting of trustees will not be disclosed. I will announce the name of the successful candidate and then request from my colleague trustees a motion to confirm the voting results, and either before or at the December 1st initial meeting of the board, the successful candidate will be sworn in by our solicitor. So those are the procedures. Are there from trustees any questions or comments on them?
Okay, so if there are any questions or comments, please raise your hand and we can be sure to unmute you. Okay, so not seeing any hand raises, Mr. Daly.
Thank you, Rachel. So then could I please have a mover to approve the procedures as outlined?
Okay, so we have a mover from Trustee Joe Bayardo and a seconder from Trustee Mary Nardini.
Okay, I see the hand, so I'm going to try to spread around the moving. So it moved by Trustee Biardo, seconded by Trustee John Vavasori.
It was seconded by Trustee Mary Nardini.
Okay, I was trying to, to spread, I would just not go by, okay, so we'll go by that then. Any questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none. Anyone opposed?
Okay, not seeing any opposition.
No, okay, thank you. So it's carried.
Okay.
Okay, so then now we will move on then to the candidates, who again, I want to thank very, very much for having the courage to put your name forward and the commitment to Catholic education. We very much appreciate all 8 of you doing so. Clearly there can only be one successful candidate, but each of you are really to be commended. So As indicated earlier, we will invite you to speak up to 4 minutes. And with Rachel's assistance, I will begin by inviting Mr. Ralph Augustino to speak, please.
Okay, so we will just give Mr. Ralph Augustino access to video and mic. And we've now prompted you to unmute, Mr. Augustino.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you well, Ralph, yes.
Okay, thank you. Good
Okay,
afternoon.
and, oh, sorry, Mr. Augustino, if you'd like to turn on your video, just let me know and I can also prompt you to do that.
Okay, how do I turn on my video?
Just give me one moment here. I'll give you a prompt. We can see you. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Chairperson Pat Daly, Vice Chairperson John Valvasori, trustees of the board, Mr. David Hanson, Secretary of the board, and administrators of the board. I would like to thank the Catholic School Board for providing me with the opportunity to present to you this afternoon for the position of Catholic School Trustee representing wards 3 and 4. It is a position which was held by my dear friend, Tony Perry, who, as we all know, did an outstanding job in serving the parents and students of these two wards. I would like to start off by expressing my greatest appreciation for what the trustees, administration, and all the staff have done during these unprecedented times with COVID-19. I have watched with admiration all the protocols that have been put in place and continue to be implemented to ensure that our students, teachers, and staff are kept in a safe environment. I was privileged to serve on this board as a trustee representing the parents of wards 3 and 4 for 20 years, from 1994 to 2014. And in all those years, I was reelected in every election. The constituents of both wards know how well I have represented them in the past. I am confident I have the experience, dedication, and commitment to continue to represent them. During my term on the board, I served as vice chairperson and chairperson of many committees. My attendance at all the meetings was impeccable, showing my dedication towards the role of trustee. I was a proud trustee when we introduced uniforms in our elementary schools, which surrounding boards soon adopted. It was with pride that I was present for the opening of the new Holy Name of Jesus School in the St. Anne's Elementary School. I hope I will have the honor to be a trustee for the opening of the new St. Patrick's School. And I would like to congratulate the board for all the hard work and commitment in securing the funds in order for the students to have a state-of-the-art facility. The Child Care Center and the Early On Parent Center at St. Patrick's School will serve our community well. Catholic education is a gift. It is a gift that the church and our predecessors in education worked tirelessly to attain. As a Catholic trustee, I am called to serve the parents and students who have chosen to attend our schools. I will strive for excellence in education. Catholic schools were founded on achieving excellence as stated in believing, achieving, and serving. I will continue to support the high standards and high expectations set out for the students academically, spiritually, physically, and socially. Catholic education is the utmost importance to me and my family. The mission of Catholic education in Hamilton-Wentworth, in union with our bishop, is to enable all learners to realize the fullness of humanity, of which our Lord Jesus Christ is the model. As a Catholic school trustee, I am committed to ensuring this mission is attained. I am confident that I have the experience, dedication, commitment to represent the students, parents, and constituents of wards 3 and 4 as I have done in the past. If provided the opportunity by you to serve as a trustee again, I am committed to being a collaborative member of the team and striving to work tirelessly in the interest of Catholic education in Hamilton-Wentworth. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Augustino, for your words. If I can just ask Rachel, again, there would only be questions for clarifications, but I think I should ask. after each presenter. Rachel, can you just ask if trustees have any questions, so please raise their hand.
Okay, so if you do have a question for Mr. Agostino, please raise your hand. And as you can see, Mr. Daly, not seeing any hand raises.
All right, thank you very much. And I would like to welcome our second presenter, Mr. Dan Bowman. Dan, please.
Okay. Okay, so we've just given Mr. Bowman access to audio and mic, and we'll just prompt him here.
Okay, how's that?
Good, Dan, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. I will get started. Thank you.
Good.
Chair Daly, members of the board, staff, and fellow applicants. My name is Dan Bowman, and it is my honor to be considered for the position of trustee for wards 3 and 4. I attended Holy Family in Corpus Christi and Cathedral Boys Secondary School. I've been married to my wife, Debbie, for 38 years, and we have 4 children who attended St. Augustine's Elementary School and St. Mary's Secondary School. I've always been very involved in both our parish and school communities. In the music ministry for 30 plus years, parish council, parish finance committees, parish bazaar convener. They even made me an honorary CWL member. I was chair of the school parent council, and I was chaperone for Notre Dame Vision, as well as dream programs for St. Mary's students. I have volunteered for the annual pilgrimage mass and walk, and I'm a science fair judge for the system science fair, as well as individual schools. I also ran the chess club at St. Augustine School for many years. I am the co-chair of the Bay Area Science and Engineering Fair, commonly referred to as BASEF, and have been involved in that committee for over 15 years. Your board is very much a partner with BASEF on Science Fair. I am currently a director with the Hamilton Conservation Authority and have served with them for over 20 years. This is my 3rd term as a director on the full authority, and I've also served on their Finance and Admin Committee, Tribunal Member, Conservation Area Advisory Board, and in the past I have served on the Water and Waste Management Water Advisory Boards, as well as been involved directly with their strategic planning. I was honored to receive the Leader for Kids Award from the Hamilton Community Child Abuse Council for my leadership and volunteer work with that agency. I have retired as the Director of Fleet Facilities and Procurement with the Hamilton Police Service, where I developed and managed multiple portfolios, all of which I think would be an important asset for this position. I am a leader and also a very collaborative team member, and have always worked well with large and small groups. During my career, I've had extensive financial accountability for both operational and capital budgets. I was directly involved in collective bargaining. I was a management representative on joint job review and arbitrations. I have experience in both progressive discipline and grievance procedures. When I make a commitment, I take that commitment very seriously and I deliver. I am a proven performer, and in 2016, I was awarded nationally as a member of the Order of Merit of Canada in Policing by Governor General David Johnson for my innovation and leadership in policing and my longstanding participation in the Hamilton community. Although I am not a resident of Ward 3 and 4, I do have an appreciation for the changing diversity that exists in these neighborhoods. Many of BASEF's financial bursary awards assist students to purchase science fairs are awarded to families in these 2 wards. I plan on being active with staff and parents by participating in school council meetings and events held in each of the schools. When building the new Investigative Services Division facility in downtown Hamilton, I attended many meetings of the Beasley Community Neighborhood Association to listen to the concerns of those residents and provide updates on as the project progressed. My career skills with my commitment will ensure that the needs of Catholic school supporters receive a strong voice from a committed trustee. I believe Hamilton is a great community and that our school board is a leader in the province in delivering Catholic education to our students. It would be an honor to be part of this great organization. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for your words, Mr. Bowman. So Rachel, I will ask again, if there's any questions for clarification for Mr. Bowman.
Okay, so we'd invite any trustee that has a question for clarification to raise their hand. Okay, I'm not
Okay.
seeing any hand
Yeah.
raises.
Thank you. So our third presenter, I would invite to speak, please, Mr. Frank Gianconi.
So we will give Mr. Frank Gianconi, just give me one moment here to give the video and mic access to Mr. Gianconi. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Gianconi, we've given, there you are. Oh, we'll just have to get you to unmute. There we go.
We okay now?
Yep, we're all set. We can hear you clearly. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate your time. Good afternoon, Chairman of the Board, Mr. Daly, Director of Education, Mr. Hanson, distinguished board trustees, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, my name is Frank Gianconi. I present myself this afternoon hoping to be appointed to fill the vacancy for trustee in wards 3 and 4. As you may know, I was an employee of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board for 37 years as an elementary and secondary Catholic teacher and a secondary administrator. The relationships I have formed here over the many years have not been forgotten. I look back with gratitude that I entered a profession dedicated to assisting young people achieve their God-given potential, to revealing or finding their very best, and instilling in them values of tolerance, respect, love of neighbor, and community service. The experience enriched my life profoundly. Therefore, being appointed trustee for wards 3 and 4 will allow me to give back to an organization that has given me and my family so much. I want to continue to serve Catholic supporters in ensuring students have successful academic experiences and help to fashion and nurturing Christ-centered educational environment that will create leaders who can become beacons of our Catholic faith and profess in the belief that everyone is made in God's image and likeness. As a member of the Catholic trustees community, I will continue to share in the joy of fostering an education that addresses the spiritual, moral, academic, and physical needs of our young people. Our students are the greatest resources we have. We must do every best to help them be successful in this very challenging and complex world. To me, becoming a Catholic school trustee is a true call to service, where we are entrusted by our respective communities to become advocates, guardians, and stewards of Catholic education. As a parent, former teacher, and secondary school principal, I believe that I better understand the needs of students, the perspective of parents, and the concerns of teachers. I also have a better understanding of our system needs, the financial burdens and restraints that the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic Board faces due to declining enrollment, student achievement, rising costs, proposed government cutbacks, and the current pandemic outbreak. Furthermore, as an experienced educator, I'm in a position to help administration and staff members create opportunities for all children to strive to reach their full potential by establishing strong policy directions for maintaining safe schools, a mental health awareness strategy, special education needs, and respecting principles of diversity and inclusion. I believe I bring strong commitment to Catholic education, to the preservation and promotion of Catholic publicly funded education, and to all students, regardless of background, heritage, race, or socioeconomic status, as they will be accepted and supported in a safe and caring, Christ-centered learning and environment. In conclusion, I'd like to publicly express my heartfelt condolences to the entire Perry family and to all the members of the board for the loss. Mr. Perry was an incredible, talented individual who had a great sense of humor and loved working with people. More importantly, though, he was a faithful champion of Catholic education and a devoted servant to his constituents. It would be my privilege to continue to serve the wonderful people of Wards 3 and 4 in his honor. I thank everyone for the opportunity to speak this afternoon and for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ciccone, for your words. And again, Rachel, I will invite if any trustees have any questions of clarification to please raise your hands.
Okay, and I'm not seeing any hand raises, Mr. Daly.
Thank you very much. Okay, we will move on then, and I invite to share her words with us, Mrs. Alyssa Infante, please.
Okay, so we're just giving Alyssa Infante access to mic and video.
Good afternoon. My name is Alyssa Infante. Oh, sorry. Is it ready to go? Okay. So, hello. Thank you very much for having me here today. I want to say thank you to Chairperson Daly, Secretary Hansen, Board of Trustees, and the administration present today. Again, like I had said, my name is Alyssa Infante. I am a parent of 2 children who are currently in the school system at Bishop Ryan. I'm a lifetime resident of Hamilton, Ontario, and I'm currently serving as a member of the Bishop Ryan Catholic School Council. So my background is a little bit different than what we have heard to date. My career has largely been working for corporate Canada for 2 of Canada's largest corporations in both marketing and digital media roles. I've also been very involved in strategic development, launching 2 large programs and products across Canada. So my, again, experience is quite diverse. In these roles, I have been helped to develop skills in effective communication and collaboration across the breadth and depth of large organizations to develop and implement new projects in a timely and cost-effective manner to the satisfaction of both stakeholders and shareholders. Beyond my career achievements, I've also had the honor of serving on the Road to Hope Marathon board for 2 consecutive years, the first initial 2 consecutive years, which was quite a challenge. This is right when the Red Hill was being built, so we had a number of obstacles to overcome. These roles provided the opportunity to work closely with many Christian and volunteer agencies across the city, including city officials, police, and charities to execute the largest Hamilton charity to date at that time. City Kids is one of the large organizations I work with very closely, and this organization benefits many of the families currently in Ward 3 and 4, as well as those throughout the city. My partnership with this organization has also helped me understand a deeper understanding of the challenges this area faces in terms of nutrition, mental health, income, and just an overall need for better transportation and support in those areas. As a former ambassador for Brock University for the City of Hamilton, I work closely with local high schools to present and answer questions in relation to programs and resources available at Brock. This helped me get a better understanding of what are the needs of high school students from both incoming and outgoing. My Ward 3 initiatives that I hope to support would be mental health, student nutrition through breakfast and snack programs, sustainable transportation, as well as trying to continue to encourage parental support and contribution within the board, greater participation. All of the experience I've gained in my corporate career, my volunteer positions and advocacy for various organizations, and being an active citizen of Hamilton has shaped my mindset and skill set to be a tremendous appointment for the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board trustee vacancy for Wards 3 and 4. Being a dedicated voice as a trustee for these communities would be the highest of importance to me and something that I'm absolutely committed to doing. One of the things that I would also like to bring forth as the benefit of working with this board is my experience in digital media. These times are challenging, and with all the things that are happening right now in the world of digital and digital learning and remote learning, I believe that my career that has been based solely on digital media mostly, and my ability to work remotely for the last 7 years in my current career have allowed me to gain experience, understanding of the needs, restrictions, obstacles that would be faced, and help navigate through that system. I also believe that I would be fully committed in attending all the meetings, community and school events throughout the year, and would like to engage further with both the school principals, administrators, and parents in the communities of wards 3 and 4. I look forward to the opportunity to be a trustee. It would be my privilege to serve as part of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board as a trustee for 3 and 4, and I thank you very much for your consideration.
Great, thank you very much for your words, Mrs. Infante. And again, through Rachel, I will invite if any trustees have any questions for clarification. I don't see any. Rachel?
That's correct. No hand
Yeah,
raises,
thank you.
Mr. Daly.
Thank you very much. So then we will move to our next candidate, and I would invite Mr. Tyler Iorio to share his words with us.
Okay, so Mr. Iorio, we've now given you mic and video access. Okay, you seem to be all set.
Okay, Mr. Iorio.
Trustees and senior administration. My name is Tyler Iorio, and I feel I'm a strong candidate for the vacant trustee position for wards 3 and 4. Before I begin, I'd like to take the time to thank you for taking your time out of your day today. It is an honor to be considered for this position. I ran in the last election for wards 9 and 11, and I know the importance of Catholic education. Today, I will start by introducing myself, then focus on the importance of Catholic education, and finally, identify key areas where my professional and academic strength will benefit our board. I'm a proud, born and raised Hamiltonian. I started my education journey with a solid foundation that was given to me by the great educators of our board. This journey provided me with the skills needed to continue my education into post-secondary. As a believer in lifelong learning, I have a Bachelor of Business Administration with a major in International Commerce and Economics and a Master's in Business, Entrepreneurship, and Technology from the University of Waterloo, which has provided me with the interdisciplinary experiences needed to be a leader within our community today. My community involvement demonstrates leadership and passion. I'm an active member of the Knights of Columbus. I participate in several events like the Winona Peach Festival and a charity Christmas party put on for underprivileged children by the Knights every year. In addition, I currently serve on the board of directors of the Ever Rothwell Center, which is located on Wentworth Street North, where I oversee budgeting, represent various stakeholders, and make executive decisions for the betterment of the families that reside in Ward 3. Currently, I work at Quadra Chemicals as a regional logistics manager. I'm responsible for the management of their North American inbound transportation, and I chair their health and safety committee. In my role, I oversee a $6 million freight budget and ensure that the company meets the budgeted goals for the fiscal year, and manage and coordinate with 3 direct reports while ensuring a fluid operation of our day-to-day logistics. Catholic education is an important part of my life. As a student, I was able to create my moral and ethical foundation based on gospel values. To this day, I uphold those values and try to instill Jesus' teachings with those around me, in my workplace and within the community. Catholic education provides an environment for students to build and deepen their relationship with God. It allows students and staff to foster an academic culture aimed at the pursuit of truth. Catholic education also actively promotes growth and virtue. My beliefs of Catholic education are very similar to that of our board's model, achieving, believing, and serving. Catholic education challenges all community members to be Christ-like in word and in action. We are called to serve our community as role models. I believe in education for all and in the importance of faith for learning. It has been my lifelong dream to serve our community in a meaningful and impactful way. Growing up, I had an incredible role model, my grandfather, the late Patrick Wilson. He was a former trustee and chairperson of our board for over 20 years. His unwavering faith and his devotion to both the church and Catholic education has inspired me to follow in his path of enabling all learners to realize the fullness of humanity as modeled by our Lord. I believe very strongly in personal accountability and integrity, and have always made sure to represent both my employer and myself in a professional and ethical manner. I pay close attention to details and ensure that my work is nothing short of my best at all times. I'm a hardworking, driven individual, and both a motivated self-starter as well as an enthusiastic team player. I firmly believe in the integrity and professionalism of my work and strive to ensure that every aspect of what I do upholds good moral standards and strong Catholic values. Given my education, experience, and devotion to our Catholic faith, I firmly believe that I'm an excellent candidate for the vacant trustee position for wards 3 and 4. Thank you very much for your time. Please stay safe, enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iorio, for your words. Again, Rachel, we will just confirm if trustees have any questions.
Okay, we'll give a few moments here just to raise your hand if you have a question. Not seeing any hand raises.
Great, thank you. We will proceed then with our next candidate. I apologize if I don't get the pronunciation right, so you can correct me if I don't. I'm happy to introduce Mr. Michael Slisarenko, please.
Okay, we're just giving Mr. Michael Slisarenko access to video and mic. We've prompted you.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
we're able to hear you.
Yep. Yes, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Michael, please.
Thank you, Chairperson Daly, trustees of the board, and Director Hansen. My name is Michael Slisarenko, and I'd like to begin by expressing my sincere condolences on the passing of your fellow trustee, Anthony Perry. Although I did not have the pleasure of knowing him personally, I've read much about the work he did in the community and the kind of man he was. A little bit about me. I'm a parishioner and lector at St. Eugene's Parish, a long-term resident of Ward 4, a school crossing guard, a father and grandfather, a self-directed continuous learner. My mom died 2 years ago, and today this occasion of speaking before the board touches me. It would be a thing I would tell my mom. And I feel grateful for this opportunity. It was my mom Ruth and my dad Mike who taught me to do the right thing. For me, that meant doing things that matter, that make a difference. From my past experience in government and business, I have practical know-how of systems analysis, the coordination of strategic multi-year program planning, budgeting, and management. I've held leadership roles in my 23 years with the Government of Ontario, including the coordination of multi-year program planning and budgeting for several ministries. And as an officer of the Secretariats of the Treasury Board and Management Board of Cabinet, I provided quality advice to the board in support of its decision-making responsibilities for resource allocation and management oversight of the operations of diverse ministries. In the private sector, I've been a consultant to real estate developers, to environmental engineering firms, and an associate manager of real estate for the consortium that built the first 69 kilometers of Highway 407. I have long-term experience on committees. I've been a volunteer committee member at the city's Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee for the last 5 years. At St. Joe's Healthcare Hamilton, I'm a founding member of the Patient and Family Advisory Council. It serves as an advisory committee to administration and staff focused on patient-centered care. For more than 10 years, working collaboratively with executive leadership and staff, I've been engaged in a variety of diverse initiatives across St. Joe's, bringing, as do my fellow advisors, a unique and personal perspective to help shape policy, care, and the patient experience. I've enjoyed being a contributing volunteer with the city in St. Joe's. It provided an opportunity to make a difference. I thrive in a results-oriented collaborative environment where quality and integrity are valued. And I welcome new challenges. I see Catholic education as teaching not just the educational aspects, it's how to be a moral, social, respectful person in the community, about helping our students to achieve, to be contributing members of society, and to know the importance of faith in their lives. A Catholic education is what I wanted and provided for my daughter. Now it's something I hope my grandson will have along with generations to follow. I strongly believe in the importance of students having access to quality education and to the resources that will enable them to reach their full potential. I'm supportive of the board's approach to equity and inclusive education and the positive steps it's taking towards healing and building an inclusive community with Indigenous peoples. The reduction of barriers to learning by increasing support to students works to ensure equal opportunity for all. If I were to be appointed your trustee, I'd like to expand upon this work. As a trustee, my goals would be to defend Catholic education and to bring to the table all voices, parents, students, staff, and ratepayers, to ensure all concerns are heard with opportunity for collaborative consultation wherever possible. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Slusarenko, for your words. And again, through Rachel, we'll invite if any trustees have a question for clarification.
Okay, we'd invite you to raise your hand. Okay, and as you can see, Mr. Daly, no hand raises.
Yes. Thank you, Rachel. We will now move on to our next candidate, and I would invite Ms. Mary Tesseri to provide her words, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for this opportunity to be considered as a candidate as trustee for wards 3 and 4. I would like to provide you with information on my background, experience, and qualifications in order for you to make an informed decision. Firstly, I am married to my wonderful husband, Bruno, for 35 years. We have 2 daughters who attended Catholic schools in Hamilton. We are lifelong residents of Hamilton, and I attended Canadian Meritorious School and Cathedral Girls High School, and I am a graduate of McMaster University. We are parishioners of Cathedral Basilica of Christ the King, and I am a Eucharistic minister and a minister of the Word, and I have been a member of the Catholic Women's League for over 30 years. It has been my lifelong vocation to serve in Catholic education. I've been a teacher, a principal, and a superintendent of education with the Halton Catholic District School Board. I served in Halton for 27 years, and upon my retirement in 2013, I accepted a position with the Diocese of Hamilton as a parish minister at St. Patrick's Church in Burlington. I would now like to provide you with some of the details of my career journey and the skills that I have acquired along the way, all of which I believe will be an asset as a trustee serving the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board and the schools of wards 3 and 4. I started my career as a teacher, teaching in the primary panel. I then became a special education resource teacher at the school level and then the system level. I was responsible for learning disabilities, gifted education, and then autism spectrum disorder and developmental disabilities. Many times I presented to the SEAC committee of the board. And during this time, I was honored to receive the award for Teacher of the Year from the Council of Exceptional Children. I then became an administrator, first a vice principal, and then a principal for 5 years before being appointed as a supervisory officer. As superintendent, I was fortunate to gain much experience in many diverse administrative roles of the board. I was a lead superintendent for writing policy for the consultation, review, and adoption by the board. Once policy was adopted, I wrote the administrative procedures to implement the policy. I am very familiar with the strategic planning and renewal process. I attended the ministry sessions on strategic planning and public participation, and I worked with many stakeholders in the development of a strategic plan. I have participated in many meetings at the senior level and board on budget development. I was a superintendent advisor for the Catholic Parent Involvement Committee, the CPIC committee of the board. I have worked effectively in highly political environments involving trustees, unions, and the media. I have participated in collective bargaining and labor management with union groups, but I am most proud of being a champion of Catholic education. I was a lead for the Friends and Advocates of Catholic Education. I was one of the founding members of the implementation of the Diocesan Mass of Catholic Education. And following my career as a superintendent, as I said, I've been working as a parish minister at St. Patrick's Parish in Burlington. I continue to work with Catholic schools. I implement the pastoral plan for our Catholic schools. I work on sacramental preparation with the students. and I will be retiring from this position at the end of the month, and it will be an honor to serve as a trustee. In the role of trustee for wards 3 and 4, I look forward to offering a fresh voice, working with other trustees, senior staff, especially with parents and students and school staffs of our schools in wards 3 and 4. The role of trustee is a call to service, and I promise to serve, inspire, challenge, and empower all partners of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board moving forward with our vision. Once again, thank you for this opportunity to be considered as trustee for wards 3 and 4.
Thank you very much, Mr. Serge, for your words. And again, we'll invite if trustees have any questions or clarification. Okay, seeing none, we will now move to our final candidate, and I would invite Mr. David Toltel to share his words with us, please.
Okay, so we've given Mr. Total video and mic access.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Mr. Total, we're not able to see your video, but we do hear you.
Okay, great. How's that?
There you
Good,
go.
thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Good afternoon, Chairperson Daly, Mr. Hanson, the Board of Trustees, and everyone in attendance. I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak today and articulate the reasons why I feel I'm the best candidate for the position of Catholic School Trustee, Wards 3 and 4. In the beginning, I would like to point out that I'm a lifelong Hamiltonian. As a child, I attended school within the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board schools, elementary school being St. Anthony of Padua, and high school being Cardinal Newman, where your very own Mr. Valvasori was my principal in my OAC year. Even though I work in the financial industry, I was born and raised in a family of educators. And to take it a step further, I went on, and my wife is also an educator. She's obviously started out as a teacher, went on to be a curriculum consultant, a VP, and now is currently a principal within the Halton Catholic Board. During my time at McMaster University, I earned a degree in political science. While in university, I worked with a local candidate and gained valuable hands-on experience in how to run a campaign and canvass for votes. One of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that my two children currently attend school within the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board system. One is in high school and one is in elementary. As I mentioned, I work in the financial industry. And through my work as a regional insurance consultant for Eastern Canada, I demonstrate the ability to listen, affirm feelings, problem solve, and redirect issues to their source on a daily basis. These things I feel are cornerstones of any great trustee. I also have experience interacting with students, parents, teachers, and administrators through my many years spent as a successful parent council chair at St. Matthew's School with Mrs. Nordoff. I take great pride and have demonstrated deep appreciation for Catholic education and the Catholic Church, not only through my family's regular attendance at Sunday Mass, but with our regular calling to serve in a variety of ways at the church. Back when I was at Cardinal Newman, Mr. DiGregorio asked me if I would help him out with the children's choir at Assumption Parish as I was in the band for just 2 weeks. Well, 10 years later, he and I were still playing our music at the 10 a.m. Mass, and I am proud to say that my daughter is now a member of that very same choir. In summary, obviously, experience in education needs to be present and is important for every successful board of trustees. And to that point, I think that area is already well represented with the current members. I feel that balance through a variety of talents, expertise, and experiences will help take this board to where it wants to go and beyond. I thank you for the opportunity to speak today, your consideration, and your vote. I would be honored to serve on a faith-filled board where Jesus Christ is the model. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Total, for your words. And again, we'll, through Rachel, find out if there's any questions of clarification.
Okay, we'd invite anyone with a question for clarification to raise their hand.
Okay, seeing none. Again, I want to, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank very much each and every one of our candidates. All of your words were very impressive and truly inspiring. So please know that you all have our appreciation and admiration. I'm going to suggest that we give ourselves a few minutes of reflection and discernment on what we've heard. And perhaps, Rachel, I'll invite the trustees to see if they feel prepared to vote in the first ballot, but maybe we'll give a few, say 2-3 minutes first, and then we will conduct the voting, if that's okay.
Most certainly, yes. And also in this moment of reflection, before we move into our voting period, I would just like to invite any trustee who had any issues finding that email I mentioned earlier to also send me a message in the Q&A so that I can assist you.
Great, thank you. So we will, I have 2:12, so maybe around 2:15, we can just reconnect and confirm that everyone's prepared to vote.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Daly, just to let you know, I have not received any messages in regards to getting on the voting portal. So it does seem that we're all ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Rachel. And maybe I can just ask Rachel if we wouldn't mind, because I do know clearly this is an important responsibility. So if I could just, by raising of the hands, please confirm that all trustees are prepared to vote.
Okay, so if we could just have all of our trustees raise their hand to let us know that you have indeed found that email and that you are ready to vote. Okay, so it does look like we've got all trustees ready to
Yes.
vote.
Perfect. Thank you for confirming that, Rachel. And if we could then please, if you could send us the secret ballots, please.
Oh, just hold on one sec. I
Oh,
want to make
okay,
sure
sorry.
Mark Valvasori is all set too. Yep, he's good. Okay.
Okay, good. Great. Thank you.
Great. Okay, thank you, everyone. So we are going to begin then with our first round of voting. So for those of our trustees, you'll see that you're on your voting portal and it's indicating that your page will reload when the next vote is available. In just a moment here, you will see that vote become available. Okay, so as you can see, the page has now reloaded and you may cast your vote. Okay, we're getting our votes in here.
Rachel, I believe you were sending an email, right? Am I right? With regard to the vote?
That's
Yeah,
correct. The email has already been sent.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just assisting one trustee here.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't have the email either.
Okay, it was, I'll just resend that
Okay,
too.
thank you.
Okay, so. Okay, so Mr. Daly, it's been resent to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I have it now.
Okay, and Mr. Bayardo, I see your hand raised. I'll resend it to you as well. So Mr. Bayardo, we've resent the email to you as well. If you do find it, could you please lower your hand to let us know that you've got it? If not, keep your hand raised and we'll be sure to continue assisting you. Thank you. Seems that it has been received. Okay, we're just waiting on a final submission here, but it looks like things are going quite well. And I'll just remind our trustees, please stay on your voting page as it will refresh as we move along this process. So please stay on that page in preparation for the future rounds. Okay, so Mr. Bayardo, I'm just going to send you a chat. If you can please click on that. Okay, so Mr. Bayardo, please click on that chat message I've sent you. Okay, and we're all set here. So just give me one moment while I tally the results. I've now closed down the first round of voting.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Daly, I've sent you an email with the results.
Okay.
And I will also send you a chat so that you can receive that maybe quicker.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Rachel. I have them in front of me, and as I indicated, and the trustees approved in our procedures, I will read out only those four names, and I think it's important for the record and for the information of the trustees in terms of next round of voting. I will actually read the name and the votes that the individual received. And the only names I read out will those be advancing to the next round. So I would first indicate that Mr. Tyler Iorio received 4 votes, Mr. Frank Cianconi 2 votes, Mr. Ralph Augustino 1 vote, and Mr. Dan Bowman 1 vote. So again, I want to thank very, very much Mrs. Infante, Mr. Cisarenko, Mr. Sari, and Mr. Total for putting your name forward. And Rachel, if I could, I would invite you to please share with trustees the ballots for the second round.
Certainly. Let me just update with our names.
Thank you.
Okay, so for this round, we will have only 4 names. Okay. Okay, so we are now live for our second round with our 4 candidates, and you will see, trustees, that your voting portal has now refreshed. Okay, we're almost done here, it seems. Just waiting on a final submission. Okay, just a final submission still. Just give us a moment here. Okay, and we're all set here. So I'm closing voting for round 2. And just give me one moment while I finalize our results. And a reminder to all our trustees again, please keep your voting portal open. And if you've gotten off it, please go back to that email and get back on by clicking the button. Okay, Mr. Daly, I've just sent over round 2.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. We have the results once again, and I would read out the results for the second ballot. Mr. Tyler Iorio, 4, Mr. Frank Cinconi, 2, Mr. Dan Bowman, 1, and Mr. Ralph Augustino, 1. So we have a tie, obviously. So we will then vote again a second ballot, and then if it remains a tie as approved by our procedures, we will then draw. So Rachel, if you could please send the same names, and trustees will vote once again, please.
Yep, just give me one moment here
Yep.
to get us going.
Thank you.
Okay, and as you can now see, the voting portal has refreshed. and I see a hand raised, so I will just, I'm going to resend a ballot here, so just give me a moment. And if you...
Sorry, Rachel, I just want to confirm something, please.
Yep.
I might have erred. Yes, I'm mistaken, Rachel. I think under procedure 6, if there is a tie for last place, then we will vote only for those in last place to move forward. I think I misspoke. So if we could please have then Mr. Augustino and Mr. Bowman, and then the winner of that vote will move on with Mr. Iorio and Mr. Cincone.
Yes, certainly. So what we'll do then is we'll restart, we'll redo round 3. And just to confirm, the 2 candidates that will be on the ballot for round 3 are Mr. Dan Bowman and Mr. Ralph Agostino.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And thank you to the trustee that pointed out this.
Okay. Just give me one moment here while I prepare. Just give me one moment. I just want to make sure we're all set here. Okay, we're looking good. So again, we'll just restart then our 3rd round with our 2 candidates, Ralph Agostino and Dan Bowman. And as you can see now, the voting portal has refreshed with just our 2 candidate names. Okay, and we have received all submissions for this 3rd round. So I am now shutting down the live vote. And give me one moment here while I send you over the results. Okay, and I've now sent over the round 3 results. I'll just also send them to you here in the chat.
Great, thank you. So thank you for that, Rachel. And I would announce then the results of the third ballot. Mr. Dan Bowman received 6 votes and Mr. Ralph Augustino 2. So thank you, Mr. Augustino, for putting your name forward. And Rachel, if we could please proceed with the fourth ballot, which would include Mr. Ciccone, Mr. Iorio, and Mr. Bowman.
Yes, we can proceed. And just a
Thank
moment
you.
as I finalize round 4 here with our 3 candidates, Mr. Bowman, Ciccone, and Mr. Iorio. Okay. And you should now see your voting portal has refreshed. Okay, just waiting for some final submissions here. Okay, and we are all set. I'm closing down round 4. Give me one moment while I tally results. Okay, and I'm just going to send over the results to you, Mr. Daly.
Thank you. Okay, I will announce now the results of ballot 4. And Mr. Tyler Iorio received 4 votes, Mr. Frank Cinconi 3, and Mr. Dan Bowman 1. So again, thank you, Mr. Bowman, for putting your name forward. And Rachel, if we could proceed to ballot 5 with Mr. Iorio and Mr. Cinconi, please.
All right, so round ballot 5 is all set to go, and your voting portal has refreshed. Okay, we're getting quicker as we go along here. So we're already all set. All submissions for round 5 have been received. So I've closed voting. And just give me one moment as I send you over the results. Okay, and Mr. Daly, I've sent over those results from round 5.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, thank you again, Rachel, for your assistance. And I will announce the results of the 5th ballot. Mr. Iorio 6 votes and Mr. Cinconi 2. So thank you, Mr. Cinconi, for putting your name forward. And on behalf of the board, Mr. Iorio, I would like to congratulate you on being the successful candidate for awards 3 and 4. And I know I can speak on behalf of my colleagues and say that we are very much looking forward to working with you in the best interest of Catholic education in our community. And Rachel, if I could just seek a motion, and I would invite a trustee to move and second that Mr. Tyler Iorio be appointed to the position of Catholic School Trustee for the wards 3 and 4.
Okay, and we do have a mover from Trustee Mark Valvasori and a seconder from Trustee John Valvasori.
Great, thank you. And I will ask if there's any questions or comments on the motion?
Okay, so we'd invite you to raise your hand for a question or comment. And I'm not seeing any, Mr. Daly.
Thank you. Seeing no questions, all in favor? Anyone opposed?
Okay, I'll just lower all hands. Is there anyone opposed? I don't see any hands in opposition.
Great. So it's carried that Mr. Yorio has been appointed the trustee for wards 3 and 4. And Mr. Yorio, we will be contacting you soon with regard to an orientation session as well as when the swearing in will take place. So if I could just conclude with, again, words of deep appreciation to Lorena Maddalena and Amelia Westelli for their tremendous amount of work preparing for today's meeting. And of course, to Rachel Stevenson for her understanding, patience leading up to today, and her tremendous work organizing the meeting and helping to facilitate a successful meeting. And of course, I want to again thank all of the candidates for putting your name forward. It's a real sign of your commitment to Catholic education. And of course, to my colleague Catholic trustees for their time and for their tireless work on behalf of the precious gift of publicly funded Catholic education. And with that, I would seek a mover to adjourn our meeting, please.
Okay, and we have a mover from trustee Mark Valdesari.
And a seconder.
And we have a seconder from Phil Hamersky.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm just going to ask anyone opposed to the motion?
Okay, there are no hands raised.
Good. It's carried, so the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rachel, again, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Take care.
You too.